Look at this pressure cooker. It's violently shaking, seconds away from blowing its whistle. That's the exact state of waking up in a middle-class household. You open your eyes, and your biological need for breakfast instantly collides with an urgent trip to the bathroom. Before you can decide which problem to solve first, you are intercepted. Mom, the primary authority, spots you with a single second of free time. Suddenly, you aren't brushing your teeth. You are delivering a stitched blouse to a neighbor and feeding roti to a cow on the street. This lack of personal boundaries and spontaneous task assignment creates an environment that looks like pure, unmanageable chaos to anyone on the outside. To map how these interactions actually function, we have to look at the recurring roles that govern every domestic decision. This flowchart tracks the 4 specific archetypes at play: the enforcer, the historian, the disruptor, and the diplomat. Surviving this morning requires recognizing that every outburst in shore fits into a broader pattern of behavioral roles. To understand why the house doesn't fall apart, we have to break down how these roles interact. We start with the enforcer. Mom operates on a model of aggressively split attention. She is simultaneously managing a boiling stove, monitoring the precise levels of a toothpaste tube, and actively tracking the geographical location of every family member. Because her attention is spread across so many variables, even a microscopic infraction, like squeezing the toothpaste tube from the middle, can trigger an immediate, sharp outburst. When that outburst happens, the second archetype steps in, the historian. Dad's method for maintaining his position in the house is to ignore the present argument entirely. He relies on historical leverage. A current disagreement over a chore is instantly crushed by a past mistake. If you let a motorcycle clutch out too fast years ago, that incident is permanently weaponized to win any debate. In this environment, past trauma is hoarded as social currency. It's kept in a vault and spent the exact moment parental authority is challenged. External pressures also breach the household. These are the invaders: relatives who arrive to drink tea for hours on end, or the cousin who corners you to pitch the multi-level marketing course for a tablet. To survive these incursions, the younger generation uses a specific tactical defense: weaponized incompetence. The most effective application is the bad tea hack. When ordered to serve a relative, you calculate the exact ratio of water and pour execution required to brew a cup so bad that you are never asked to enter the kitchen again. This strategy is more effective than a direct refusal. Saying no causes a confrontation. A targeted failure creates a permanent boundary that the relative will respect out of self-preservation. Weaponized incompetence becomes a vital tool for evading labor obligations while keeping the surface-level harmony of the family intact. Then we have the ecosystem's internal wildcard, the disruptor. Grandma's schedule of early morning trips to the local ashram frequently strains the established rhythm of the household. These trips produce a tangible byproduct. She returns daily with patashas, sweets that no one in the house actually wants to eat. Over a month, this creates a massive inventory problem. This diagram illustrates the solution. The unwanted sweets move from the ashram into the house, accumulate in a sack, and are eventually smuggled out and routed right back to the ashram in a clandestine resale operation. The real friction, however, is ideological. Grandma's focus on external service at the ashram directly conflicts with Mom's burden of domestic labor inside the house. When the labor of the home conflicts with the labor of the soul, the tension builds until someone eventually stops cooking. This clash of values makes the daily routine increasingly difficult to maintain. By the evening, the micro-stressors of the day, the hoarded grudges and the ideological friction, trigger a total operational shutdown. The household enters a cold war. Dad arrives home from work to find Mom and Grandma occupying separate corners of the room in a silent, passive-aggressive standoff. We end up with a scene like this: an empty, unset dining table sitting in the shadows. The most critical service of the house has halted. Nobody is making dinner. If the system is this prone to collapsing over a squeezed tube of toothpaste or a motorcycle clutch, why does it remain intact rather than fracturing? The friction is actually the glue. The weaponized tea, the smuggled sweets, and the evening standoffs aren't signs of a broken family. They are the specific language of how this household connects. This cycle of tactical warfare and decade-old grudges forms the actual daily routine that keeps everyone at the same table. To deploy this research in your own ecosystem, share the Ladli Video Yojana directly into your family WhatsApp group.